And a wonderful good afternoon to a wonderful afternoon to all of you who are joining us. Hey, guess what? The Chattering Magpie is back after a 3-week semi-hiatus. We're back treating the Count of Monte Cristo, and with me is the rest of the gang. Hey, gang, how are you? Say hello.
Hello.
Yo!
Hello.
Bonjour!
Hey!
Hi.
Greetings and salutations to all of you. I missed you so very, very much.
You know what's extremely weird? We can hardly get this number of people to show up when we actually need them. Now that we only need 3 rules, we have everybody.
Oh, Patrick.
Well, you say that, but chapter 28 is pretty short.
Is it short? Are we gonna... No, I don't think we're gonna read 2 chapters because I think we have a lot to talk about with chapter 28. So we'll see, yay, we'll see. And also, I don't want to put pressure on our highlighting Mestinora Teal. Teal, you know, I remember very vividly the days when we were reading A World Away while I was trying to finish it. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I think if I remember correctly, when I hit, like, publish on the final episode, like, it was the day we had to read it. So
yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, so I'm being very, you know,
I'm sorry, Magpie, but I think writing the story is very different from highlighting it.
Hey, have you been wait, you have been highlighting Miss Theonora. I have. You have. Maybe you would like to offer your services now, since you're saying that since you're implying something that I don't know. We appreciate.
I already implied it to her face. She already knows.
Okay, I am not responsible, you guys, if fights break out. By the way, you guys, have you noticed that I went and kind of revised a little bit of our rules, server rules? I did. Please be responsible in your interactions with each other, keep your privacy safe, and just be nice to each other, okay? Okay, so, to business.
I'm trying my best.
I know. To business, please welcome the gang. And gang, please welcome the YouTube chat who's with us today. Let's see who was the very first one on the chat. Drum rolls. Hey! Luis Fernando Quiroga Gonzalez was here with us first. Says hello, Magpie, and the YouTube chat and the Discord folks. Beware of the tangents. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you, Luis. I kind of have a feeling that you just kind of threw in the apple of Discord, kind of like challenging us to actually tangent, especially this group. They will take up that challenge and they will tangent.
And I feel like you like to highlight his comments because, well, you get to show off your Spanish heritage with his name.
I have very little things in this life to be proud of, and that is one of the biggest ones, you guys. Thank you very much. The perks of being a Mexican.
Also, hello, Fuji.
Hi, what did I miss? I'm sorry.
Oh look,
Nothing
Fuji's with us.
Much yet, so yeah.
We are
just
missing.
saying hi.
We are missing your blessing. How can we read without your blessing, Fuji?
I pray for a blessing and appreciation of this serendipitous meeting ordained by the fruitful days of Shutzeria, the goddess of wind, and the 12 subordinates who serve by her side.
You may.
O Shutzeria, bringer of change, please bless this live stream.
Thank you.
And for those who don't know, this is the Fuji who was always in chat, and we finally got her in the Discord.
Welcome, Fuji.
So welcome to Fuji.
Yeah, glad you found your way to us. Woo! I hope you don't regret it. All right. Sorry, you guys. I'm feeling a little bit hyper because just happy to be with you guys.
You feel the tangents flowing through
I
you.
do. Speaking of tangents and Europe, and actually no, it'll be a massive tangent, so I'll leave it for the end if it's necessary. So, okay, and then next. No, Yukihime, I'll leave it for the end. That way it'll keep you, like, give you, you know, like a motivation to stay up. All right. Yay was next on the chat. Yay says, I fear no tangent. And now, also is followed by Tia, who says, well, the highlight of my days is restored. Ah, that's so sweet. The Imagine marker fumes setting up. As you guys know, Teal is responsible for highlighting these, so... What was that? Butterfly? Were you gonna say something?
No.
Oh.
Just giggling here.
I imagine somebody... Okay, well. So, yes, thank you, Teal, for highlighting. I do hope that these 3 long weeks were enough to help you get a head start on Volume 2 of this very long series. How are you doing, Teal, by the way?
I'm doing fine. I'm highlighting as we speak. I will quickly switch over to chapter 28 when necessary, but I just thought I'd get a little extra done. I'm 12 chapters ahead of us, so.
Yes, excellent. Thank you, Teal, for your hard work.
We'll do our best to fix that.
All right, you guys. Since you're already in a talkative mood, how about you read to us and fill us in on what happened in the last stream? It's been 3 weeks, so we do need this refresher. Please take it away. Yay.
Especially since now it's season 2 of our anime. Last time on the Count of Monte Cristo, the mysterious Abbé visiting Gaspard Caderousse finally learned what Edmonds' beloved friends had been up to. Danglars made a fortune between his time in Spain and his investments, becoming a respected baron. Fernand joined the army and proved that rare combination of ambitious, talented, and lucky enough to succeed beyond his wildest aspirations and become landed nobility. And Mercédès became his wife and one of the great ladies of Paris. Meanwhile, Edmonds' true friends had fallen far. Monsieur Morrel is now on the brink of bankruptcy, and his father starved himself to death for the loss of his son. And of course, Caderousse is now near destitute with his small inn. Having learned these things, the Abbé gave Caderousse the ring intended for division amongst all his friends, and left the inn. What will this mysterious Abbé do with this information? Find out now on Volume 2 of The Count of Monte Cristo.
Bravo! Thank you for that summary. Yay!
Encore.
Yes, I don't think we need to say anything more about what happened. That pretty much perfectly summarized it. We're gonna read. I just want to finish saying hello to folks on YouTube. Says Byron Balaam is here. Dun dun dun. Yeah, very well put. Red Tempest is also with us. Hello, Red. Are you still with us? Yes, you are still with us. Stop it, Red. It's Fernand, not Ferdinand.
Keep it going.
No,
Keep it going, Red.
It's Ferdinand.
It's Fernand and Fuji. Do not take up their. Do not. I'm warning you, Fuji. I'm warning you, Fuji.
I've already claimed her.
No.
I've already claimed her. She's part of my cult.
You will not. I shall mute people.
Yes.
I shall mute people. And Patrick, by the way, you're on thin ice. Next time that I time you out, it'll be a month. So you already did a day, a week. Next it's a month. So watch it. Please. Please. I don't want to do it. All right. Red Tempest says, I see in your eyes the same fear that would take the heart of me. A day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship, but it's not this day. Where's this from? Did you write it? Are you a poet? Do we have a poet among us?
No, this is from Lord of the Rings.
Oh!
It's Lord of the Rings.
I gotta read or watch the movies, you guys. I don't know for what reason I haven't. I should though. That is very heroic. I love it. No wonder it's like so beloved. It sounds great. All right. I was not late. Look at Red Tempest proving you wrong. And if you want to join us, by all means join us here on the voice chat. You're one of us, so come on over. All right. Welcome to everybody. Yukihime, who is here, kind of sleepy, kind of working on her art. Good for you for joining us.
I'm not sleepy.
Okay,
I
she's
actually
not
have
sleepy.
too much. I have too much energy. That's why I'm here.
Oh,
Chill out.
excellent. Okay, cool. Then
I was making my neighbors happy at 2 a.m. by singing until now, so it's good for them.
Yes.
She's our favorite Romanian chatterbox.
Yeah. I wonder if your neighbors are party animals. Maybe that was like
No,
revenge.
I don't think they are. No, it's pretty chill. I only hear myself in this building.
Oh my. Well, I hope you sing well. That's all I'll say. No. It's
I think with passion. It's passion that's important here.
Passion is important. Yeah, that's true. Though I do remember from one of our karaoke nights that you actually do sing really well, and you sing with energy, so much so that Discord tried to, or mildly successfully silenced you because you were very passionate. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
I can't help but think of Fievel Goes West.
Oh my.
That may be an older reference for some of you.
I'm sorry, I do not know what that is.
Red Tempest.
Are there any?
Go ahead.
Is the role of Ferdinand free?
The what?
Ferdinand! Yes!
The what? Can you repeat
She
yourself?
asked if the role of Ferdinand is free.
There is no role of Ferdinand.
About Fernand?
No, because we
He's
spit on
not in
him.
here.
All right,
It's not me!
let's
It's not
do
me!
this,
She
you
can't punish me!
guys. Let's
It's
do
not
this, you
me!
guys. So today, reading we're going to be continuing on with chapter 28, titled "The Prison Register." Today, reading are only 3 roles, so check it out. We have a vast majority. I mean, a wealth of readers. We only get to use 3. So thank you everybody for joining. Maybe next time when you join in early, you guys can pick up a role of your choosing. So today we have reading. The Englishman is going to be read by Patrick. The Mayor is going to be read by Little Purple Butterfly, and the Inspector, Monsieur de Vauville, is going to be Teal. As always, the highlighter MVP is Teal. Thank you, highlighter MVP. And if you would like to become a highlighter, if you want to join us, please join the Chattering Magpie, the channel, and become a member at the noble tier and above. Well, there's only 1 tier. Well, join in at the noble tier. All right, everybody, let's get started today with chapter 28. Are you guys all ready? Yes?
Yes.
I'm ready!
Ah,
Excellent. Let's do this. Chapter 28. The Prison Register. The day after that, in which the scene we had just described had taken place, on the road between Bellegarde and Beaucaire, a man of about 30 or 32, dressed in a bright blue frock coat, nankeen trousers, and a white waistcoat, having the appearance and accent of an Englishman, presented himself before the mayor of Marseille.
Sir, I am chief clerk of the house of Thompson and French of Rome. We are, and have been these 10 years, connected with the house of Morrel and Son of Marseille. We have 100,000 francs, or thereabouts, loaned in their securities. And we are a little uneasy at reports that have reached us that the firm is on the brink of ruin. I have come, therefore, express from Rome, and ask you for information.
Sir, I know very well that during the last 4 or 5 years, misfortune has seemed to pursue Mr. Morrel. He has lost 4 or 5 vessels and suffered by 3 or 4 bankruptions, but it is not for me to say, though I am a creditor myself, to the amount of 10,000 francs to give any information as to the state of his finances. Ask me as of me as mayor, what is my opinion of Mr. Morrel? And I shall say that he is a man of honorable to the last degree, and who has up to this time fulfilled every engagement to
Scrupulous.
scrupulous punctuality. This is all I can say, sir. If you wish to learn more, address yourself to Mr. de Bevel, the inspector of prison number 15, Rule de Nullis. He is Nullis. He is, I believe, 200,000 francs in Morel's hand. And if there be any grounds for apprehension, as this is a great amount than mine, you will most probably find him better informed than myself.
The Englishman seemed to appreciate this extreme delicacy, made his bow, and went away, proceeding with a characteristic British stride toward the street mentioned. Monsieur de Varville was in his private room, and the Englishman, on perceiving him, made a gesture of surprise which seemed to indicate that it was not the first time he had been in his presence. As to Monsieur de Varville, he was in such a state of despair that it was evident all the faculties of his mind, absorbed in the thought which occupied him at the moment, did not allow either his memory or his imagination to stray to the past. The Englishman, with the coolness of nation, addressed him in terms nearly similar to those which he had accosted the mayor of Marseilles.
Oh, sir, your fears are unfortunately but too well-founded, and you see before you a man in despair. I had 200,000 francs placed in the hands of Morrel and Son. These 200,000 francs were the dowry of my daughter, who was to be married in a fortnight, and these 200,000 francs were payable, half on the 15th of this month, and the other half on the 15th of next month. I had informed Monsieur Morrel of my desire to have these payments punctually, and he has been here within the last half hour to tell me that if his ship, the Fernand, did not come into port on the 15th, he would be wholly unable to make this payment.
But this looks very much like a suspension of payment.
It looks more like a bankruptcy,
exclaimed Monsieur de Varville despairingly. The Englishman appeared to reflect a moment, and then said,
From which it would appear, sir, that this credit inspires you with considerable apprehension.
To tell you the truth, I consider it lost.
Well then, I will buy it off you.
You?
Yes, I.
But at a tremendous discount, of course.
No, for 200,000 francs, of course. Our house does not do things that way.
And you will pay?
ready money.
And the Englishman drew from his pocket a bundle of banknotes, which might have been twice the sum of Monsieur de Varville faire Toulouse. A ray of joy passed across Monsieur de Boville's countenance, yet he made an effort at self-control, and said,
Sir, I ought to tell you that, in all probability, you will not realize 6% of this sum.
That is no affair of mine. That is the affair of the house of Thompson and French, in whose name I act. They have, perhaps, some motive to serve in hastening the ruin of a rival firm. But all I know, sir, is that I am to hand you over this sum in exchange for your assignment of the debt. I only ask brokerage.
Of course, that is perfectly just. The commission is usually 1.5. Will you have 2, 3, 5%, or even more? Whatever you say.
Sir, I am like my house, and do not do such things. No, the commission I ask is quite different.
Name it, sir. I beg.
You are the inspector of prisons.
I have been so these 14 years.
You kept the registers of entries and departures?
I do.
To these registers, there are added notes relative to the prisoners.
There are special reports on every prisoner.
Well, sir, I was educated at Rome by a poor devil of an abbé, who disappeared suddenly. I have since learned that he was confined in the Chateau d'If, and I should like to learn some particulars of his death.
What was his name?
The Abbé Faria.
Oh, I recollect him perfectly. He was crazy.
So they say.
Oh, he was, decidedly.
Very possibly. But what sort of madness was it?
He pretended to know of an immense treasure and offered vast sums to the government if they would liberate him.
Poor devil. And he's dead?
Yes, sir. 5 or 6 months ago, last February.
You have a good memory, sir, to recollect dates so well.
I recollect this, because the poor devil's death was accompanied by a singular incident.
May I ask what that was?
said the Englishman with an expression of curiosity, which a close observer would have been astonished at discovering in his phlegmatic countenance.
Oh dear, yes, sir. The Abbé's dungeon was 40 or 50 feet distant from that of one of Bonaparte's emissaries, one of those who had contributed the most to the return of the usurper in 1815, a very resolute and very dangerous man.
Indeed!
Yes, I myself had occasion to see this man in 1816 or 1817, and we could only go into his dungeon with a file of soldiers. That man made a deep impression on me. I shall never forget his countenance.
The Englishman smiled imperceptibly.
And you say, sir, that the two dungeons
were separated by a distance of 50 feet, but it appears that this Edmond Dantes,
this dangerous man's name was?
Edmond Dantes. It appears, sir, that this Edmond Dantes had procured tools, or made them, for they found a tunnel through which the prisoners held communication with one another.
This tunnel was dug, no doubt, with an intention of escape?
No doubt, but unfortunately for the prisoners, the Abbé Faria had an attack of catalepsy and died.
That must have cut short the projects of escape.
For the dead man, yes, but not for the survivor. On the contrary, this Dante saw a means of accelerating his escape. He, no doubt, thought that the prisoners who died in the Chateau d'If were interred in an ordinary burial ground, and he conveyed the dead man into his own cell, took his place in the sack which they had sewed up the corpse, and awaited the moment of interment.
It was a bold step, and one that showed some courage.
As I have already told you, sir, he was a very dangerous man, and fortunately, by his own act, disembarrassed the government of the fears it had on his account.
How is that?
How? Do you not comprehend?
No.
The Chateau d'If has no cemetery, and they simply throw the dead into the sea after fastening a 36-pound cannonball to their feet.
Well?
Observed the Englishman
What?
as if he were slow of comprehension.
Well, they fastened a 36-pound ball to his feet and threw him into the sea.
Really?
Yes, sir. You may imagine the amazement of the fugitive when he found himself flung headlong over the rocks. I should like to have seen his face at that moment.
That would have been difficult.
No matter.
Replied de Vauville, in supreme good humor at the certainty of recovering his 200,000 francs.
No matter. I can fancy it.
And he shouted with laughter.
So can I,
said the Englishman, and he laughed too. But he laughed as the English do, at the end of his teeth.
And so, he was drowned.
Unquestionably.
So that the governor got rid of the dangerous and crazy prisoner at the same time?
Precisely.
But some official document was drawn up as to this affair, I suppose.
Yes, the mortuary deposition. You understand, Dante's relations, if he had any, might have some interest in knowing if he were dead or alive.
So that now, if there was anything to inherit for him, they may do so with easy conscience. He is dead, and no mistake about it.
Oh, yes, and they may have the fact attested wherever they please.
So be it. But to return to these registers.
True, this story has diverted our attention from them. Excuse me.
Excuse you for what? For the story? By no means. It really seems to me very curious.
Yes, indeed. So, sir, you wish to see all relating to the poor Abbé, who really was gentleness itself?
Yes, you'll much oblige me.
Go into my study here, and I will show it to you.
And they both entered Monsieur de Vauville's study. Everything was here arranged in perfect order. Each register had its number. Each file of papers its place. The inspector begged the Englishman to seat himself in an armchair and place before him the register and documents relative to the Chateau d'If, giving him all the time he desired for examination, while de Vauville seated himself in a corner and began to read the newspaper. The Englishman easily found the entries relative to Abbé Faria, but it seemed that the history which the inspector had related interested him greatly, for after having perused the first documents, he turned over the leaves until he reached the deposition respecting Edmond Dantes. There he found everything arranged in due order: the accusation, examination, Morrel's petition, Monsieur de Villefort's marginal notes. He folded up the accusation quietly and put it as quietly in his pocket. Read the examination, saw that the name of Noirtier was not mentioned in it. Perused, too, the application dated 10th of April, 1815, in which Morrel, by the deputy procureur's advice, exaggerated with the best intentions, for Napoleon was then on the throne, the services Dantes had rendered to the imperial cause, services which Villefort's certificates rendered indisputable. Then he saw through the whole thing. This petition to Napoleon, kept back by Villefort, had become, under the Second Restoration, a terrible weapon against him in the hands of the king's attorney. He was no longer astonished when he searched on to find in the register this note, placed in a bracket against his name. Edmond Dantes, an inveterate Bonapartist, took an active part in the return from the island of Elba, to be kept in strict solitary confinement, and to be closely guarded and watched. Beneath these lines was written in another hand, "See note above. Nothing can be done." He compared the writing in the bracket with the writing of the certificate placed beneath Morrel's petition and discovered that the note in the bracket was the same writing as the certificate. That is to say, was in Villefort's handwriting. Oops, you guys, I'm sorry, I lost my place. Oh no.
How dare you?
You would lose your place?
I know. Okay.
Well, it's right.
Hold on.
It's right after the picture.
I know, but I
That's true,
actually lost like pages down, so hold on. I found it. Thank goodness for finding. Oh yes.
The paragraph starts with "as to the note."
Yep, thank you. Found it. As to the note which accompanied this, the Englishman understood that it might have been added by some inspector who had taken a momentary interest in Dantes' situation, but who had, from the remarks we have quoted, found it impossible to give any effect to the interest he had felt. As we have said, the inspector, from discretion, and that he might not disturb the Abbé Faria's pupil in his searches, had seated himself in a corner, and was reading Le Drapeau Blanc. He did not see the Englishman fold up and place in his pocket the accusation written by Danglars under the arbor of La Reserve, and which had the postmark Marseille, 27th of February, delivery, 6:00 p.m. But it must be said that if he had seen it, he attached so little importance to this scrap of paper, and so much importance to his 200,000 francs, that he would not have opposed whatever the Englishman might do, however irregular it might be.
Oh, thanks,
said the latter, closing the register with a slam.
I have all I want. Now it is for me to perform my promise. Give me a simple assignment of your debt, acknowledge therein the receipt of the cash, and I will hand you over the money.
He rose, gave his seat to Monsieur de Vauville, who took it without ceremony, and quickly drew up the required assignment, while the Englishman counted out the banknotes on the other side of the desk. End of chapter. Oh, you guys.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, the evidence, cold evidence. It's in his hands, you guys. Oh.
Yeah, that evidence was almost as cold as Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper outside of the Chateau d'If.
By the way, I haven't tried Dr. Pepper in my life, but I did find a recipe online that says make your own Dr. Pepper at home, and it seems promising. So maybe one.
I would not try to make soda at home. Like that's not. I feel like that's not something you do at home.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
They made it in the olden days.
That's how. Yeah, exactly.
Dr. Pepper is one of the hardest to mimic, so I would.
I was gonna beg to differ because I mean, there are definite ways of replicating recipes at home for famous brands.
Yeah.
But for an authentic blend of 23 different flavors.
We'll
Yes.
see. It had a lot of flavors. It had like orange peel. It had all sorts of stuff. Yeah, we'll see. Probably it's easy to
Hi,
just
where
buy
are
a
you
can.
getting a doctor to put in it?
You guys see, Dr. Pepper is a drink for intellectuals, so of which we are all here.
Indeed.
So
Exactly.
And now
Are you
that we
going to
have
vote?
finished the anime that Dr. Pepper has inspired us to all these jokes for, I don't know how long we're going to continue the joke.
forever.
Well,
Forever.
the new volume clearly will need to find a new bit.
We will pick up another anime. Yeah. We will pick up another anime. So yeah. But for now, by the way, you guys, I do want to take this time to say we are continuing our Sunday watch parties. I mean, until further notice, I have some stuff going on in my life regarding jobs and changes, and so. But for now, things are the same as usual. Everything is scheduled, but maybe in the future I'll change the timings and stuff whatnot. But for now, take advantage of Sunday afternoon anime movie nights or anime watch parties. Sorry. All right. So let's talk about this chapter. You guys, I kind of want to read the next one. I really, really want to go see the next one.
I mean, we can.
There we go.
I'm
How
not
long
going to
is
stop
it?
us.
How long is it?
One.
Oh, so must you know.
48 to about 510. So about
It's gonna be rather long. 478.
Yeah, we might not want to do that.
Yeah,
it's a bit
this was
long.
10 pages. This was 10 pages. It's gonna be 4 times as long as
Darn.
this one. So we'll save it for next time. But this was a nice way of getting back to the story, getting back to the mystery.
I would like to talk about this mysterious Englishman who is, for whatever reason, collecting evidence on certain individuals with a connection with our dear late Dantes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what he's after and why he's highlighted green and voiced by Patrick.
You know, I think he might be Eustace going on Ferdinand's orders.
But
I-
Ferdinand is married to
Strike
his
one.
cousin now.
I don't know. I
Strike
have
one.
another theory. I
Yeah.
think that he is the Abbé from last chapter in disguise.
That is closer to what I believe as well. Yay. So just saying. I actually I'm finding it really interesting to see how he's putting on all of these different costumes. One of my favorite parts about the 2024 version of the Count of Monte Cristo is that it really did play into him putting on all of these, master of disguise things, which the older version of the movie kind of didn't do as much. And so I'm really enjoying how it's leaning into it. I'm like, who's gonna be the next person? How's he gonna show up? In what?
I'm
what
sorry,
manner?
every time I hear Master of Disguise, I can't help but think of the comedic movie and the am I not turtle enough for the Turtle of the Month Club?
You are not.
I haven't watched it. I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're deriving entertainment from it, and yeah, this has good connotations. So we have him basically nothing loosens up a person's willingness to help than the prospect of money. Money makes the world go round, you guys. Oh man.
It is also
especially
the,
200,000 francs.
200,000 francs. That's an obscene amount of money. Go ahead, Patrick.
It is also, according to many people, the source of all evil.
Yeah. Actually, no. The love
Probably.
of money. The love of money is the source of all evil. Money is not evil. It's the love of money.
Right.
And then
Thank you for the correction.
somebody else wanted to say something. I think I heard, was that butterfly? Fuji?
I think it was Fuji.
Okay, Fuji, what's up?
I was thinking is it possible that the Abbé is still alive, even though he supposedly died?
No, he's dead.
Oh, he is dead?
He
It's
is
been
dead.
a while.
Dead
I
as
can't remember.
doornails.
You're speaking of Abbé Faria, right? He's definitely,
Yeah.
gone.
He's gone.
Oh, wait, you're right. He did die. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, they even remember when he died and everybody came to check up on him. They even like branded him to make sure that there was no reaction. So they did all the things
that's true.
necessary to make sure he was dead.
I can't help but think, that this will bring the fear of, the sleep paralysis demon. But what if he was just paralyzed and, there was no way for him to give any kind of reaction to literally anything? So they're poking and prodding him and, doing damage to his body, and he's just like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Literal
that's a
shivers
risk.
down my spine.
That
Thank
is
you,
that is a risk that actually back in the day, you guys, a lot of people were buried and they were brought up. They came to eventually in the grave.
Yeah.
That is why we have the saying "Saved by the Bell," because people knew that the risk, like, okay, he got a heart attack, but how do we know, like, if he's really dead? Like, if he wakes up, what do we do? So they would put like bells and a string or something. So like if you died and you were alive, you could just pull on the string and the bell outside of your tomb would ring, and people would know that you were alive and they had to get you out. So that's, from what I hear, that's where
I'm
the
sorry, but
thing came from.
What you just said, if they died and they were alive, it reminds me of a certain passage from Acts of the Apostles where a young man fell out of a window and
Eutychus.
in the story it said he was dead, but he was alive. It's like, this doesn't make any sense. Write it better so I can understand better.
I was thinking more of The Hangover. Sometimes your heart start up again. Read a book.
So yes, there was always that risk. Nowadays, well, who knows? But back then, people really loved those kind of gothic stories about like people not quite dying, being buried alive, and that's where a lot of the stories of like Dracula come from, and like things that rise up from the dead, and I don't know. That's the source, from the Gothic era, because things like these were happening.
I think nowadays it's more like person is in a coma and can't respond. Do you take them off life support? Are they still conscious?
Yeah, I've heard so many stories of that.
I wonder what our resident Romanian thinks of these stories of Dracula.
I mean, you already know I love Dracula. I'm Romanian, of course. I love him. Yeah, it's part of our national pride. So he's a national hero and all.
National hero.
And yes, and I am a vampire. Confirmed.
I mean, she's still awake right now, so hello.
We knew it.
I mean, Transylvania is just an hour away from here, so.
Ooh, no.
That is one castle I would love to actually go to.
It's
I
very
would love.
pretty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. I visited it a few times, and it's really scenic, and it has like an entire valley around it, so like it's hard to like conquer, and you have to cross a bridge very high up to actually get into the castle. And it has one very fascinating thing that stuck with me from when I first saw it when I was a kid and visited it. There is like a chamber that is like it's like a prison, and the thing is that there is like an actual human skeleton there, but like if they have not tried to like take it out or anything because it's behind bars, and if you're taking out the bars, the structural integrity of that wall might be damaged.
Oh my gosh.
They just left it there.
Oh my. That's really gruesome.
So I've always admired the story of Vlad Tepes, and since it is October, we can always have some discussions about the man who inspired the story of Dracula.
But maybe not right now.
Yeah,
as you guys know, I don't vibe with that. With a lot of that. So maybe later.
A cherry on the top for you, Magpie, would be the fact that they have organized in like the last few years. So in the courtyard, a little museum, all right, extra besides the entire castle being a museum, where it's just torture, like all the all the ways of torture, medieval torture, like an entire little museum in the courtyard.
Oh my!
Just for that.
Wow.
It's very gruesome.
Instruments of torture, I see. Well, I probably would skip on that, but I'm sure there's several of you guys who would go into that. So, yeah, okay, good. Everybody has the thing that they're into. I would probably just look at the architecture. I'd rather go and see the skeleton behind bars. Yeah, because that would give me the heebie-jeebies even more than a dead person's skeleton. Anyway.
On moonlit nights, the skeleton comes out from behind the bars and walks among the village.
Boo. All right, you guys. So let's get back to Count of Monte Cristo. Thank you for sharing, Yukihime. So we have this Englishman. So far, he is collecting the evidence. He has collected the testimony from people who, have either the evidence or they witness things. Do you guys think that he might have to do something else besides? I know we're gonna go see Morrel and Son, but do you guys think he will approach directly his enemies, or do you think he has another errand to go to after Morrel and Son? Do you think there's something else?
I think he's still in the evidence collecting process.
Okay, yeah. I'm just wondering, like we already touched up on all the people that we knew at the beginning of the book. I do believe that that's the last one, unless he's going to go and indirectly go to Paris and look for traces of Danglars or Villefort. Maybe. We'll see. Same Byron, I'm the same as you. So I actually am really looking forward to reading the Villefort. I think in the adaptations they didn't show him as much, but he really endeared himself to us. He really was the only friend that went in to try to do anything about Dantes. I don't know, or like even his family member. I know his father was an old man, but man, if my father, old man that he might be, does not go and do his best to try to whatever, I don't know, man, I'd be very disappointed. I'd be very sad. But I guess different day and age, different father.
I think his best just didn't even get him out of bed, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, that is unfortunate. And let's not even talk about Mercédès, who was just kind of... I just feel like writers of this time... Or maybe he was just doing Mercédès dirty, but I feel like they were just like, oh, she's like the poor helpless woman who can only like beg and try to stir the better reflexes of others, but that's as much as they could do. I'm like, no, she could have done more. But again, different time.
The harlot. The harlot, her father-in-law was barely in the grave when she leapt into her cousin's arm.
I would rather you not use that word.
I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. That's not even what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, come on. Like, your man is in prison. You better try to at least try to go and see him. or at least make a fuss. I'm sorry, you make a fuss to try to, and then they'll kick you
I will
out. But at
say-
least try to make a
sorry.
fuss. Gosh. Anyway, sorry, Teal. Please. Anyway, go on.
I think so. A lot of characters have treated Mercedes like she's a wilting flower, but it was also mentioned that she's actually like really smart and
Yes.
pretty well educated for in a poor fishing village, and I'm also a little surprised she didn't do more, but there definitely would have been some walls
Yeah, for sure.
in her way that wouldn't have been in other people's way.
I will give her credit though. I mean, like, what credit there should be. She did try to like go directly to whatever Villafort's house. I probably wouldn't have done it like that, maybe differently, or I don't know, but she did try. I'm not saying that she didn't, but I feel like she just let sorrow overwhelm her, and that prevented her from taking a more deliberate, more like a pursuit of like a more constant. Yeah. Anyway, just saying.
I don't really blame her for the machinations of the plot.
I don't either. I just wish that she had been written.
I mean,
to put more of a fight. Just saying.
I know that I
Regardless.
said what I did, but I honestly do think she's a woman of her time, and she saw a way to establish her continued survival. I mean, it's not exactly easy for people in this time to get along on their own. So, since her chosen husband was wrongfully put in prison, she had to rely on someone to provide for her. So, as sad as it is, that was her cousin.
Yeah. And I haven't even begun to touch upon her marrying Fernand. Another thing that just brought your comments kind of brought to mind, it's how is the relationship between the Catalans and the French people of Marseille? Because we know that, especially if they're seen as kind of like adjacent to gypsies or you know, like if they're seen in that way, they could also face like either discrimination or violence, or so that is also something that, thanks Patrick for bringing it up, that at least to bring it up to my mind, kinda also affects things, how you proceed in the face of an injustice. Because like if you go and take the direct route, so you know, I'm so fond of taking the direct route, but yeah, that does get you like attacking the machine is not going to go well for you. So especially if you're like in a vulnerable kind of like you're a vulnerable kind of person, in more than just being a woman, but also being a like the other people. So I don't know, I should probably look into more of how that affects the relationship between the characters also. I don't know. Anyway, but this who was that?
I'll go on.
No, I was gonna wrap up.
I thought I was muted.
No, you're not muted.
Nope, you're not
Go
muted.
ahead.
You're good.
Talk.
Wait, I forget. Does this story take place before the French Revolution?
It's after.
After it.
Oh, after?
Mhm.
That might be why there's less bloodlust right now.
Mhm.
As well.
Yeah, so Emperor Napoleon has had his time in the sun. He rose again and was stamped down yet again, and now he's I don't remember what happened to him after he got
He just
deposed
died.
the second time.
He was sent out
Banished
to like
even-
this even further.
He was banished even further away,
Mm-hmm.
and then he eventually died.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, based on what we've seen in the story so far with Dante's, do you think she would have been happy if she married him instead of Ferdinand?
That's two. Yes, I think so. She would. I think they would have been happy together. I don't see why not. he was a hard worker. He was quickly climbing up his station in life. And I think if you're living a regular kind of life, all that you really need to care about is that your neighbors and that you can get along in your community, I think. And I think based on the wedding or the little feast that they had each other when they got engaged, and they had the support of the community, like an outpour of support, and as they celebrated them, I don't see why they wouldn't have been happy. They would have just been part of the community and married and grown old together, and they would have just been regular people. Unless unless there was another there's another consideration we haven't, something else we haven't considered, but I think they would have been happy, and that's the point, because the whole point is they steal their future happiness, and this is their revenge, not just for the having been unjustly accused, but because of how much he took from him. Like, he already had it good. Like, his life was made. It kind of was. That's what also makes it even worse. All right, everybody. So I've had a lot of fun reading and discussing this. If there's anything that you think we should have included in our discussion, feel free to leave it on the comments section. Always looking forward to reading your comments. And
yes, please like, comment, and subscribe, and support your magpie. We definitely like to get you all in here in the Discord, but magpie can tell you how to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we will see you on not Wednesday. We'll see you. Okay, tomorrow we have the anime roundup still going on strong. It'll be in the afternoon. So
on the main channel.
Yeah, it shall be in the afternoon, probably after around 6 like last week. So just heads up for all of you who, it's gonna be at the same time as last week.
And we'll keep our references to a certain Ferdinand, to a minimum.
Yeah.
And Patrick, goodbye.
Now that is an evil laugh.
All right. So now that we're done, we're done, you guys. I shall have to take these mischief makers off the air before they cause any more damage. We'll see you then on Thursday again, anime roundup on the other channel. Friday noonish for this. So do join us. Take care, everybody. Say bye again.
Au revoir.
Bye.
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 Subscribe and blow kiss to Fernand.
Bye-bye.
Bye.